We love our dogs like crazy, right? I mean, they're not just pets, they're family. But here's a tough thought. What if some of the things we do for them every single day, things we do out of pure love, are actually, well, causing them harm? We're going to get into this because some of these seemingly innocent habits might just be cutting your best friend's life short, and we can't have that.
Yeah, I know, that is a really heavy statement. It's tough to hear, but it's so important. We're all trying our best, right? But sometimes we're just not aware of the dangers. We don't know what we don't know, and that's what we're here to change.
So are you one of them? It's a hard question. I get it. But look, this isn't about making you feel guilty. Not at all. The whole point here is to give you the information you need to make small changes that will have a huge impact. It's about empowering you to be an even better dog parent, starting right now.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to tackle this in 4 parts. First, we'll look at mistakes in the food bowl. Then, we'll uncover some unseen everyday physical threats. After that, we'll dive into protecting your dog's mind. And we'll wrap up with your promise for their future. Let's get into it.
Okay, Section 1, mistakes in the food bowl. What goes in can cause serious harm. It sounds so basic, just filling up a bowl. But believe me, what you're putting in there, and even when you're putting it in there, can be a really big deal.
So let's talk about something truly terrifying. It's called gastric dilatation volvulus, or GDV, but most people just call it bloat. Here's the scary part. Picture your dog's stomach after a big meal. It's full, it's heavy, and it's basically hanging inside their body like a weighted bag. Now, if they go run around like crazy right after eating, that bag can literally swing and twist. It flips over on itself, cutting off blood flow and trapping all the gas inside. It can be fatal within hours. It is an absolute emergency.
So, how do we stop this from happening? It's actually way simpler than you might think. On the left, you see the wrong way. Feeding your dog right after a walk or a big play session. Don't do that. The right way? Just wait. Give them at least a half hour, maybe an hour, to chill out before you give them their meal. Same thing with water. Instead of letting them gulp down a whole bowl and swallow a ton of air, just give them small sips to rehydrate. Seriously, this tiny change in your routine could absolutely save your dog's life.
2.5 years. Just let that number sit there for a second. 2.5 years. That's how much time, on average, obesity can shave off your dog's life. That's years of fetch, years of cuddles, just gone. We have to stop thinking a chubby dog is cute. It's not. It's a serious health crisis.
Okay, so how do you know if your dog needs to lose a few pounds? Here's a super simple check you can do literally right now. First, run your hands along their side. You should be able to feel their ribs without pressing hard. Second, stand over them and look down. Can you see a nice little tuck, a waist? If not, it's time to take action. And it's simple stuff. Cut back their food just a little bit, like 10 or 15%. And then swap out those high-calorie treats for things like green beans or carrots. They love the crunch. This isn't about being mean. It's about giving them the best gift ever, more years with you.
All right, I've got a warning for you now that honestly shocks most dog owners. There's a super common fruit, something we think of as totally healthy, that can be fatal to your dog. It's grapes and raisins. These can cause immediate acute kidney failure in dogs. And here's the absolute scariest part. Scientists still don't know exactly what poison is in them. And because they don't know, there is absolutely no safe dose. None. A single grape could be enough to kill a dog. And raisins? They're even more dangerous because they're so concentrated. I'm not kidding here. If your dog eats a grape or a raisin, it is a medical emergency. You need to call your vet immediately.
All right, let's move on to Section 2. We're talking about unseen everyday physical threats. These are the dangers that are literally hiding in plain sight, things you probably use every day without a second thought.
Okay, I want you to picture a drinking straw. It's pretty flimsy, right? Well, your dog's trachea, their windpipe, is just about that fragile. And every single time your dog pulls on the leash while wearing a collar, all of that force is concentrated right on that delicate little tube. It might not seem like a big deal on one walk, but over years, it's causing real, lasting damage.
So what's the fix? How do we protect their neck? It's super simple. Step 1, switch to a harness for your walks. It's a game changer. A harness takes all that pressure and spreads it across their strong chest and shoulders instead of their throat. Step 2, of course, is to work on teaching a nice, loose-leash walk using positive reinforcement. And step 3, and this is so important, please just throw away any prong collars or choke chains. Training should be about building a bond, not causing pain. There's just no need for that.
80%. Just wow. That is a huge number. 80% of dogs over the age of 3 are dealing with some kind of dental disease. And the craziest part? Most owners have absolutely no clue what's happening.
And look, we have to understand this isn't just about stinky breath. When a dog's gums are infected, that bacteria gets into their bloodstream. It's like a poison highway. It can travel to the heart and cause a deadly infection called endocarditis. It puts a huge strain on their liver and their kidneys day in and day out. And through it all, your dog is probably suffering from a constant, painful toothache, and they're not telling you about it.
This is just terrifying to look at. Let's say it's a nice day out, only 70 degrees or 21 Celsius. In just 10 minutes, the inside of your car is already 90 degrees. 20 minutes in, it's 100. At 30 minutes, it's 105 degrees inside that car. And please hear me on this. Cracking a window does next to nothing. A dog can die or suffer permanent brain damage in just minutes. There's absolutely no reason, ever, to leave your dog in a car. Just don't do it.
Okay, we've talked a lot about physical health, but now, for Section 3, we need to talk about protecting your dog's mind. Because the invisible wounds we cause, well, they matter just as much.
So let's just compare these two side by side. Yelling, what does it really teach? Let's be honest, it just teaches fear. Your dog doesn't understand that you're mad about the shoe they chewed up 3 hours ago. They just see their favorite person in the world suddenly becoming loud and scary. It completely shatters their trust. But positive reinforcement? That's the opposite. It builds that bond. It teaches them what you do want them to do, and it creates a dog that's confident and happy, not anxious and afraid.
Okay, please listen closely to this one, because it might be the most important concept we talk about today. Fear is not disobedience, it is panic. When your dog is shaking during a thunderstorm, they are not being bad, they are having a panic attack. And if you comfort them, you are not reinforcing the fear, you are reinforcing safety. You are teaching them that when they are scared, you are their safe place to hide. That's what they need from you.
This is all about a fundamental shift in how we see our dogs. They're not a toy. They're a living being with feelings and boundaries. They deserve to sleep without being poked and to eat their dinner in peace. The most important thing we can do is learn their language. They give us these polite little stop signals all the time. A quick lick of the lips, turning their head away, or showing the whites of their eyes, what we call whale eye. Those are their whispers. And if we ignore their whispers, they have no choice but to shout. And that's when you get a growl or a bite.
All right, here we are at our final section. Let's wrap this all up. This is about your promise for their future. It's about how we can take all this information and truly become the owner our incredible dogs deserve.
So if you only take away a few things today, let it be these. 1. Feed your dog an hour after exercise, never before. 2. Use a harness for walks, not a collar. 3. A chubby dog is not cute. It is a health crisis. And 4. Trust your gut. If your dog's behavior suddenly changes, it almost always means they're in pain. Be their advocate. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. What is the one change you're going to make for your dog starting today? Just picking one of these things can make a huge difference, maybe even add years to their life. And if this was helpful for you, if you want to keep learning how to be the absolute best dog parent possible, please do us a favor and subscribe to our channel, Love Dogs. And you know what? To make this promise real, go down to the comments and just type your dog's name. Let's honor them and make a public promise to do even better.